Well, all right, well, real quick, I've actually got a question before we kind of jump into the all the aspects of your clinic because I know that's going to take a while. You got a lot of really good things going on over there. Having this opportunity to talk with the doctor at this point in time, I would be remiss if I didn't speak up and I didn't ask, this question. Um, so I've got this like weird spot right on my lower back.
No, seriously. It's not the time. It's not the time, man. Leave me alone. Sydney, can we get a butcher knife, please?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
I'm gonna call about this tree. Ooh. I'm coming. Coming. Butt crack plumbing. I'm looking for the tree service. Yeah, that's what I meant. Timber tree service. I was seeing if you could come look at a tree for me next week. I could squeeze you in, man. I think I can squeeze you in.
Don't get fooled like Peyton and call just anyone. You need a name you can trust. Call Buckeye Preferred Services. They are insured with over 35 years experience in custom tree felling, crown reduction, whole tree removal, as well as stump grinding and cleanup. They are cutting out your problems one limb at a time, serving the greater Middle Georgia area and beyond. You can find their Facebook in the description and call them at 478-484-2178 or 478-278-5574.
Well, hello. Derek's laughing already. Here we go. This is going to be interesting. We have got an exciting episode planned today. I feel a little weird. We got this beautiful new table that will probably sit us 30 guests. We're very grateful to have it. It's absolutely fantastic. It still smells like freshly stained wood. So if we all get a little loopy during this episode, me and Brian have not yet relapsed. That's all that is. This is unintentional. But we're so glad that you decided to join in with us today. We're very happy to bring you this episode. We've got some exciting news for people like me and many others out there, I'm sure. We've got a very exciting guest. I did want to give tribute real quick. This beautiful table you see before you was built by hand by Bassett Home Improvement. Bassett Home Improvement, local here in Dublin. They're very fantastic. As you can see, this is very nice. I gave the gentleman the details, made sure I got it high enough for me, which is why everybody now looks short. So
I'm sitting on a pillow.
yeah, Brian is actually sitting on a pillow. Yeah. And I'm on the floor. But anyways, thank you to Bassett Home Improvement for helping us out with this. It looks beautiful. And it is a great addition to the $1 Million Studio. We are excited to have it here and excited to have this episode coming to you. We have a special guest for this very first table episode. We are excited. We've got Dr. Souza here with us today. And we're going to talk a little bit with him about all kinds of stuff. And mainly, if you keep on listening, we've got a wonderful program that he has set up across his 5 clinics that everybody needs to hear about. It truly is a blessing and a great opportunity. It's not one you're going to want to miss out on. But without further ado, Dr. Souza, thank you for coming on with us today. We are very excited to have you on, and we're very grateful that you would come on and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you.
Very excited, very excited. So how long have you been practicing medicine?
I actually got into healthcare back in 1981, and I started off in my career as a respiratory therapist. Worked about 8 years as a respiratory therapist before I applied to medical school. And really, the jumping point for me was that at that time, I was splitting my time between playing music at night and working in the hospital in the daytime. And realizing that I had to take a step up and get on to the next level of my life, I jumped on and applied to medical school. And then I went to medical school, University of Texas in San Antonio, and graduated. Longhorns, yes.
Took them.
And
Took them horns.
came to Georgia in '93. Did my general surgery, trauma surgery residency at medical center in Macon.
Okay.
Very
Okay. So been all over the place. And being a respiratory therapist at 81. Okay.
Let's go back to the playing music thing at night. We'll expand on that a little bit.
Well, we had kind of a copycat band. I didn't realize at the time that my among my friends there was another band called the Mistakes, but we truly were the real Mistakes. uh, we played most of the guys in the band, like myself, went on to do something a little bit more ambitious than playing a garage band. So we some of us went on to one went to law school. All that against him. And, others went into engineering, and then myself, I went on to medicine. So
Pretty
we ended up we got some redemption out of that old mistake name.
Yeah. You turned the corner, if you will. Yeah.
Should have been called the Successes.
Yeah.
And Dr.
Yeah.
Susan, what instrument did you play in the band?
Played the rhythm guitar, and I'm kind of have an affection over the years for my old custom telly. So I'm not averse to anything. I actually have a pretty broad collection of guitars. I have Strats and I have Les Paul and a number of other different Gibson guitars, but the old telly's my favorite. So
That's kind of.
I'm gonna
Now,
put you on the, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Les Paul is a guitarist.
I know that. I do know
Yeah, I
that.
didn't know
He
if
was
you
about
knew.
to Google it.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Just let you know, it's a famous guitarist.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Doc. Greatest guitar of our time. Greatest guitarist.
greatest guitarist, for me personally, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Gotcha.
It's tough to argue that.
Prince is a close second.
Prince.
Maybe I saw him
Fair point.
as a
My guitar line.
guitar. My
Yeah.
gosh, I mean,
That's.
Prince just blew that away. I mean, that's real tight.
It's funny that you say that too, because my daughter is 18 and she doesn't really know who Prince is. She's heard me listen to Prince over the years, but I got her to watch that video when he does it with Tom Petty, and I said, "You got to watch this." I said, "This is insane how he plays this." And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't they had voted the top 100 guitarist or something right before that? And maybe I heard this wrong. And he wasn't in the top 50 or whatever it was. That's why he, and we may need to fact check that. Had either one of y'all heard that?
I've heard that too, and Steve Winwood, I think, kind of threw water on that, but I don't know if that's really true or not.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the entertainment value of Prince, I think if you factor that into his performance versus Stevie Ray, that probably gives him the edge too, because that performance in that particular clip is My Guitar Weeks was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is.
Him and the blouses.
And his halftime performance of the Super
one.
Bowl when he was playing Purple Rain and it was raining.
Yeah.
And they went in before the Super Bowl and they said, "We got bad news. It's raining." And he said, "Can you make it rain harder?"
Yeah.
That's a true story.
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. Well, look at that first tangent. We're about 3 minutes in.
It happens.
We're just like, we're going
Sometimes
to talk about wonderful programs and everything that Dr. Susan's been doing for everybody. And then immediately we're just like, tell me about your guitar. We're nothing if not ADHD. Well, that's all. Okay, so practicing, or I was about to say practicing music, practicing medicine for quite some time now, since 81. Now, was there anything that kind of happened that got you to transition to going to medical school from the respiratory therapist kind of field, or?
Well, yes, I think that one day I'm working in the hospital. I just had the realization that I can do it, and I guess a lot of folks go through life, especially in their life, not realizing they have ability to do certain things,
Mm.
and they don't push it. And one day I just
Fair.
the light went off my head and said, you know what, I can do this. I had a lot of encouragement, I had a lot of support, but also had a lot of personal success at what I was doing. And I realized, hey, I can do this, and I didn't know entirely what it would involve, but at some point became pretty convinced that that was the right choice and I was going to do it.
That's impressive.
That is very
And push
impressive.
yourself to do that. That's good.
Because that's not an easy like, oh, I can do this. Like, Brian might say, oh, I think I can do this, and it might be something like making a pizza at the house or
Yeah,
something like
Brian can do that.
like I can set my laundry to wash today. Deciding that I can go and become a doctor is not an easy feat because that's what I mean, straight out, that's what, 4 years undergrad, 2 years of grad school, internship, residency. How many years is that, start to finish?
Oh,
Um,
the total stretch is about 13 years, and for me, uh, you know,
Wow.
I
you
enjoyed
haven't committed to
school.
do anything for
I enjoyed it, but to go back when I started medical school, I was 29. I was working full time um, until medical school, and when I was in medical school, I maintained a job working what they call a Baylor plan, which they pay you for a full time salary to work 2 16-hour shifts on the weekend. I did that my entire 4 years of medical school. So I thought that whenever I was a freshman in medical school, I thought I was on top of the world because I had a really good income and I was going to school. They didn't have online courses, but I was kind of doing it kind of by correspondence. I would show up for an exam. I would get all the notes and study for the exam, not attending any lectures, just doing the notes. And I should, for example, people say, "Who's this guy?" And I'm like, "Oh, he was here last time."
He was here last test.
Required. We had two people in our class. You weren't required to attend the classes, but you just had to come there with the knowledge. And I would study all the notes. Somebody had a scribe that would write all the notes down, and you paid a little bit of money. You bought the scribe notes, and then you went and studied for the exam. So I did that through the whole year. And Texas has a great tradition. They have 4 medical schools there in Texas, and what they do is after each segment of examinations, which usually are 6 or 8 week cycles, everybody goes down to Galveston Island and has a beer party and for the weekend. So anyway, I'm down there and I just got my Radio Shack $1,300 cell phone, which 1989 about big as a
Yeah.
big as a car. And so I'm there on the beach and I'm thinking, man, I'm on top of the world because nobody else. All these other folks that I'm going to school with are borrowing money and their parents are working 2 jobs. Got a job and I'm paying my way and I know I have owe a dime. So who did I bump into at the party there in Galveston? But a guy who's flying for United Airlines on the weekend, flying circuits around Europe and coming back home on Mondays, and he's making like double my salary. It's like damn. So we're the two people that I know of that
Self-sufficient.
say that we actually worked our way through medical school, which I think is these days they said it was impossible when I did it, and people say it was impossible today, but. As long as there's a will, the person will find a way. So
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That is a testament to the dedication for sure. I mean, that is not like trying to work your way through Central Georgia Technical College. It's a little bit more, and the fees of tuition are a little bit more than your average school. Man, congratulations. That's incredible. So Texas, huh? Texas, that's cool. Longhorns. Um, so you come back to, when did you end up kind of in this area?
So I finished my residency in Macon in '98, and of course, prospects around the area all were pretty good, but for some reason, I think Dublin just struck me as a good choice. Good farm town, good community, good folks, and for a young surgeon getting started, this was a really good choice.
Very good.
So now did you went and became a surgeon?
Correct.
So you're a surgeon by, I guess, education and I guess trade. What do you call that? Like specialty.
Right,
You
especially.
specialize in surgery.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Not a bad choice. I don't live in Dublin now, but I definitely grew up in Macon. And getting out of Macon is never a bad idea. It's never a bad idea. It's Macon or anywhere. But yeah, my dad actually was the professor of pharmacology at Mercer for pretty much the whole time I was growing up in Macon. That's why we lived in Macon. Dr. Russ.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy because you meet him and you're like, this dude is an idiot. But he's not. He's very smart. Okay, so you end up around here, and started a clinic. Where did you do like a cert? Have you done surgery for a major hospital? Were you doing that at? I guess it's Navicent now. Now
Well,
it used to be Medical
I
Center.
did it at Navison, but then, of course, when I came to Dublin, I did it at Fairview Park and also did
Mhm.
surgery at the VA. But my career was a little bit short-lived from the fact that I developed some pretty bad health problems with my spine, with my neck and lower back, and it basically caused me to have to wind down my surgery practice probably around, I guess, around 2012, 2013. And that's really when I transitioned over more of my energy and time into the urgent care business, which I had actually started back in 2008.
So you already had the urgent care kind of the clinics and everything running, and then the health issues to kind of take you out of the surgery.
Yeah, I mean, I really started experiencing those health issues as early as the time I was starting the urgent care, but it was minor. And at the time, I was uh, using some of my downtime to do something else, and start another business.
Sure, sure.
Very
Okay. So Dublin was your first kind of clinic.
Yeah, Dublin was my first clinic in 2008, and a person who's well known in Dublin and very well loved and now very missed person, Phyllis Chafin, is actually the one who
Oh
founded
yeah,
the clinic,
yeah,
and she's a household name around here. She's just
absolutely.
one of the best providers and practitioners that I've ever worked with. And we worked together at the hospital Fairview for some time before she ever came and teamed up with me at the urgent care here in Dublin. But Phyllis passed away about a year ago, and she was one of the founding members of the clinic in Dublin. And then we established a year later a clinic in Eastman, Georgia. We established a clinic in Milledgeville, I think, in 2013. And then I think Albany in 2014. And then Macon was established in 2022.
Wow,
Uh,
it's
Hey,
five. That's five. If you're,
if you carry the one,
yeah,
yes.
five.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that five?
so I've got to jump out. I don't see how you find time with everything going. How you would find time to be able to pick the guitar.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
that blows
definitely
my
got a busy
mind.
schedule going
Yeah.
on.
So do you, Doc, do you go to all five clinics?
I do go to all five clinics, but I don't go routinely on a set schedule except to Dublin and Milledgeville.
Okay.
I'm in Dublin every Wednesday, and I think in Milledgeville every Monday. Other clinics I go kind of on an as needed basis.
Gotcha.
Now, how many employees do you have over the 5 clinics spread out over the 5 clinics?
Okay, so we have 4 doctors, we have 12 nurse practitioners, and we have a total of about 70 employees.
Wow.
Wow. Impressive.
That is impressive. That's a good operation. That's a very well staffed and it seems like well run. If you're multiplying your facilities, you're obviously doing something right. You know.
So tell everybody, in case they don't know, one thing I think we haven't mentioned yet. What is the name of your practice? What is
The
that?
name of the clinic operations is Med Plus Immediate Care.
Med
Med Plus
Plus.
Immediate Care.
Okay.
Med
Very
Plus
good.
Immediate Care. Okay. Well, yeah, I think it's about time to get in that. Do you have any more questions
No,
leading up to this
that's kind of where I wanted to go ahead and hit the grand slam
before
here
we
with
really
what.
dive into the Med Plus?
I'm glad you mentioned Phyllis because Phyllis was very dear to me and my family as well.
Yep.
Very inspirational. Always pushed me to do better and be better. And
Finally.
I'm glad that I was able to be doing better before she passed, and she was able to know that because she was a very special lady for sure.
Indeed, she was.
Yes, sir.
She was a unique individual, and she lived alone over there. I forget the little residential area she stayed in, but she one time I called up and said, Phyllis, I need there's something some household thing I need, and I said, Phyllis, I need one, and she said, come on to my house. I got about 5 of them. Five about everything.
Now y'all were at first. It was over there by on Hillcrest by Papa John's.
That's right. That's right. That's
Okay,
where we started.
that's where you
Yep.
started at. Okay, and now you are still on Hillcrest, right there after the shopping center with I can see it, but I can't name it. But you're right after that, am I correct?
Yes, we're right across from the Social Security office.
There you
That was a tactical move because we were eating too much pizza. We were next door to Papa John's.
Fair enough. Hey,
I
that
understand.
will happen. That will happen. Yes, and that will happen. Well, all right, well, real quick, I've actually got a question before we kind of jump into the all the aspects of your clinic because I know that's going to take a while. You got a lot of really good things going on over there. Having this opportunity to talk with the doctor at this point in time, I would be remiss if I didn't speak up and I didn't ask, this question. Um, so I've got this like weird spot right on my lower back.
It's not the time. It's not the time,
Give me
man.
Bring me a knife.
Sydney, can we get a butcher knife, please?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later.
Now, I always say a chance to cut is a chance to cure.
Hey there. I'm ready. I'm ready. Just yeah, take it right out. No big deal. I ain't worried about it.
No more questions.
Yeah. I just turned it over to some more professional people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just need to grab this cake from Mama real quick, and then we can go ahead and go over there.
This guy again?
You have got to be kidding me.
Hey boys, I got y'all's cake right here, man. Oh, I got it right here. Wait till you get a load of this.
Derek, come on, man. I got somebody way better.
Hey, suit yourself, fellas.
Always go with someone you can count on. Emerald City Sweets is locally female owned and operated. They have been in business since 2019. They are open Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They serve soups, salads, sandwiches, and of course, cupcakes. They offer custom cakes and sweets for your every occasion. Located at 302 Pine Forest Street in Dublin, Georgia, they can be reached at 478-205-5385. Again, that's 478-205-5385. And their Facebook is linked in the description. Get your event done right with Emerald City Sweets.
That is way better.
Gosh.
Okay, so what I know you wanted to come on, especially to give some options and to some hope to some people, mainly like me and Brian, some of us that have to use interviews with doctors to cheaply ask about health conditions because we don't have health insurance, and for whatever reason, I think that is a growing kind of issue, we can call it, with the community and just kind of where we're at as a nation with insurance and the rising prices of everything. A lot of people are like me and Brian and don't have that opportunity to kind of have health insurance. So what is your clinic doing to help out the people like me and Brian and people who maybe don't have health insurance and are still wanting to get preventative health care and get emergency health care and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, and we have ourselves seen in the last, I guess, 5 or 6 years, our premiums for our insurance for employees go up by 10, 15 this year, I think 20 something percent,
Mm,
and it's just totally become unmanageable for us. Now our employees all benefit from getting their health care free through our company. We provide health care to all of our employees and their families for free, so they don't have to pay for, but they still need to be able to get some type of insurance product to be able to help them with their care outside of the clinic.
hmm
And the fact that this stuff has been going on has caused us to really kind of look hard at what things that we can do to help our patients and help our community to be able to afford basic health care, particularly primary care and minor emergency care. And, there's two things that we've done. One is we've created a really, really nice, a manageable cash model where people who can actually go onto our website at medplusimmediacare.com and see what the actual prices of an X-ray or simple blood work or certain tests, what they would be. And the second thing we've done is we've created a membership program. Uh, we call it our annual uh, MedPlus membership program, and this allows you to pay a flat fee, a one-time fee per year of $400, and allows you to receive 2 visits to the clinic with whatever services you need that are offered within the clinic. And it also allows you, if you need additional visits for the year, allows you to pay $80. It's a flat fee for any visits after the second visit for the year. So this is really a super good deal. I tell people all the time that are trying to decide what they're going to do when they have a minor emergency. I tell them, look, don't go to the hospital for a minor emergency. You're going to pay $1,000 or $1,500 for a sprained ankle when you could come to the clinic and you could pay cash and see the doctor, get an X-ray, get a Toradol injection, and get a splint for about $200. Um, I've said to these gentlemen earlier today in our preliminary discussion that it doesn't make sense to go to the hospital for minor emergencies when you can choose us or somebody like us, because going to the hospital for say a sprained ankle, that's like going to the airport to buy a hamburger. You're gonna pay $30 for a hamburger, and yet there's a place you don't buy a hamburger at the airport unless you need to be at the airport. And sometimes you need it in the hospital, but when you don't need it in the hospital, don't go to the hospital. Stop us and get your care with us because it'd be much more affordable. Now, the medical membership program uh, has been offered to our local manufacturers, our local employers, and we've encouraged them to let you folks know that these membership programs exist and they're available for you. And we've also created a campaign with the help of Darcy Quinn, who recently came on board and joined us to help us with our marketing campaign. We've been getting the word out to people that this is a really good option for you if you find yourself in need of health care.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it. It sounds like, it's very, cost effective, very affordable. Now, so you said it's 400 for the initial 2 visits, essentially for, is this a fiscal year or kind of a calendar year?
It's flat $400 for the whole year. And that gives you 2 visits with whatever services you need. And there's a pretty extensive list of services that are included in a visit, and that's on our website. You can get that list by just going to medplusimmediatecare.com and looking at the list. But when you get beyond 2 visits, we cap that cost at $80 per visit, and so you're going to be able to get the care you need when you need it if you just pay that $400 up front. Now, we do offer for individuals to make installments on that. And the installment plan is a 90-day plan where you pay your initial month and then you pay 2 more installments over the next 2 months. So we try to make it manageable.
That's awesome.
That is
Really
real.
is.
And I love payment plans. And I love payment plans. Well, man, give it to me now and I'll pay you in a little bit. That's me right there. Um, well, that's incredible. That's a lot of really good options for just about everybody. Even if you
Yeah.
don't have it up front, you got the payment plan worked out. Now these visits are going to be more like minor emergency visits. Just kind of not exactly like hey, I just need a checkup. These are going to be like if you do happen to sprain your ankle, you use one of those visits to come get the
That's
X-ray,
right.
check
So
it out.
there's basically 2 types of visits. There's a what we call a sick visit. That means a person either got some kind of illness or they have an injury. That's one type of visit.
Okay,
There's a second type of visit called the wellness visit, which means I'm okay, but I just want my annual physical. I want to get my blood checked. I want to make
sure.
sure everything's okay. And then the third type of visit would be occupational related. Like I've got a DOT card
Mm,
and I need to maintain my
mm,
medical card.
gotcha.
And so, and we even have extended it to our employers, saying that they could use this as a frontline coverage for their people with minor workers' comp injuries, uh, because many of to the chagrin of the state of Georgia, which every state administers their own workers' comp program, but to the chagrin of the state of Georgia, some people, just like with cars, and when you have an accident in your car and you have some $100, $200 fix, you just pay out of your pocket. You don't report that to the insurance. And I'm not advocating that they don't report because I'm not sure what the laws are with regard to employers. But what I'm saying is that they can use uh, that service if they buy it for their employees as a front line to defray their costs, because predictably every time that you have an incident or a claim that goes to against workers' comp, then just like with your car insurance, your premiums are going to go up.
Right,
So I think
right.
I think they can do that. I think it's legal, but the only issue is that they may be required to still notify the state that they had a claim, even if they're not submitting a bill. So
Right, right. Even if it's going to a different source, maybe just making
right,
aware of the accident.
that's right.
Sure, sure, that makes sense.
And I believe you mentioned that you said that they can walk in. So if I'm sick and I need to go to the doctor, I don't have to call and make an appointment. I can just walk in.
You can walk in, and I want people to know too that while we're not an emergency room and we're not subject to the rules and that govern hospitals and emergency rooms, we do prioritize people that need immediate attention, and we have to do that because we want the best for all of our patients. And sometimes, and I tell people, sometimes we'll get a patient they'll grumble because somebody got put back, even though they've been waiting a little while. If this was your family member and they needed immediate attention, wouldn't you want us to do that? Of course you would.
Yeah.
So we do that because we want to be able to respond quickly to people that need immediate attention.
Sure. And this is just a question for my own benefit. So I know a lot of places will do stitches if you got a cut, and some will do glue. Now, do y'all do stitches if there's a need for stitches?
We do, yes, we do stitches, and glue sometimes may be overused. Sometimes people really need stitches when they get glue, and I'm a surgeon, so I'm a little bit more sensitive to that. And
Right.
we do all those things. We do simple orthopedics. We do, minor injuries. We have the ability with our X-ray set to be able to do X-rays of the extremities and the chest and abdomen and all those things. So we can pretty much field any kind of minor problem that people may have.
I got you.
Now, when you're talking about glue, what kind of glue? Because I usually use crazy glue.
Elmer's.
Oh, well, this is,
Elmer's, I tried. It didn't really
yeah,
hold well.
so another, I know it's going to come as a big shock to the public, but it shouldn't. But
Bring the tea.
everything that you buy that's got the 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 name medical on it or medical grade, they quadruple the price, even though it's the same product. And matter of fact, the generic material that's used to make crazy glue is exactly the same as the glue
I knew it.
we use, except we put this little blue dye in it, and they charge us about 4 times as much.
See, I didn't have to do that.
That's why it smells medical. They have to make it.
Well, when I
I like
glued my toe back on, it's not really growing back right. So I didn't know if I used the wrong type. I'm glad I did. It'll fix it. It'll work out. It'll work out. I'm a very home remedy type guy. You know, lost that toe, crazy glue it back on.
Got
No
9
worries.
more.
Yeah, one later than me now.
To show, crazy glue brings up I can remember when crazy glue first got brought into the medical scene, and it was they call it the first brand. I think it was called Dermabond. This is the brand name. And one of my colleagues was gluing a laceration on the forehead of a kid, and accidentally got a glue into the kid's eyelashes, and that kid's eyelashes were glued shut. And they called me in a panic and said, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do?" It was a woman, and she was hysterical because she'd glued the eyes of this kid shut. And of course, I knew the antidote. It's pretty simple, but I thought I'd have a little fun before I told her what to do. So I told her, "Well, you probably should call your lawyer." And he has discussed it. And just so no, I'm just kidding. Just put some ice on there. It'll start crumbling, and you just tease it off. It'll come off.
Listen, I'm so glad everybody. I did not want to be the first person to start laughing when he was just like, "Oh, he glued his eyes shut." I wanted to laugh so bad.
He went in with a cut on his
This-
forehead. Now he went out blind.
I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want to be the first one to laugh. I was like,
to see you with I'll tell you this about Derek's question on the appointment versus walking in or what have you. I one day at work last week, I went onto your website and I went into every location to see about getting an appointment. And it was about 1:40 in the afternoon, I think on a Wednesday. And
"Were you working?"
it was during
See
my
me in the
break.
office
It
Monday.
was during
See
my
me in the office
during
Monday.
my break. And
During the break.
everyone, I got my
What's
place.
break time?
I was taking a break.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get a break.
Getting your smoke break in.
Yeah. And every location that you have had an appointment within, I think, 15 minutes on 4 of them and 30 minutes on one of them.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so.
That is pretty
So
good.
you guys do a good
Yeah,
job
30 minutes at the
of being
max.
able
That's
to
pretty
get
good.
people in.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So again, where are the locations at for those
Glad you
viewers?
asked, Derek. He's got one in
listeners?
Eastman, Milledgeville, Macon, Dublin, and down south into Albany.
Yeah,
And listen,
I'm proud of knowing that.
very
you're
good.
never more than like an hour away from anybody. That's it. And one more time for everybody, make sure we get this website out there. The website is medplusimmediatecare.com.
That's it.
MedPlus. And is that a plus sign or the plus word?
The word.
The word. So MedPlus, the word, immediatecare.com. And we'll be sure to put that link down in the description of the video. Definitely check out this program. I'm very excited to look into the no insurance program and the emergency program. That's a good one. Because especially by the time you look at other different types of clinic, that especially over at where me and Brian work, we have a house full of gentlemen that have not really made it to a point where they have health insurance yet. And we have a local clinic kind of there. That's that once you pay before the initial visit, and then you start throwing in tests and this. I think they want to charge. How much is a COVID test there?
50.
Is it 50? I thought it was a little bit more than that. But they'll tell you in the office, don't. We're going to charge you $50 for a COVID test, and you can go get one at Walmart. It's the same test for much cheaper.
It is. You can get them cheaper.
But they, because of just the sort of insurance and medical kind of field, everything is often marked up and made to be this extravagant kind of amount of money that you can't really afford. It almost feels like you can't afford to be healthy or you can't afford to be hurt. Having programs like this in place to make it seem, to bring it down to a level that kind of is available to everyone is very beneficial. And I commend you for, as you said, this was last year, 2020, 2022, that the law kind of changed where you could start doing this program.
The law changed, and that, of course, one of the most important requirements of doing what we're doing is to emphasize to the public that this is not an insurance program, and it's not for a number of different reasons, which we kind of outlined earlier. So people have to understand this is not insurance. It doesn't function like insurance. It's not intended to be insurance, but it's a way to help people who sure insurance is not an option to be able to get the care they need and make it affordable. And to reiterate and contrast the cost of urgent cares in general, not just my urgent care, but urgent cares in general, compared to hospitals. A simple X-ray on the average costs about $50 or $60 in an urgent care. Costs $400 to $500 in the hospital.
Yeah.
And that's just across the board. I mean, that's a pretty close national number.
Yeah. When Shelly was going through her back stuff, we had to go to, we had X-rays and MRIs. We had to do it not only the hospital one time, but then also like clinics and kind of outside things. And the price in those two is vastly different, which is crazy because it's the same thing. But yeah, as you get more, going from urgent care to the hospital, everything gets definitely blown out of proportion and definitely a lot more expensive for, whatever reason. But again, having these 5 locations and all over middle Georgia to be able to kind of come and make sure that you're staying healthy, and addressing any injuries that may pop up. It is just a great program. And like I said, I commend you for getting together and starting that and then offering it at all your clinics. It's truly a blessing to have something like that. And I appreciate you doing that for all 5 of those communities.
For real, for sure.
Very, very, very selfless of you,
And
Doc.
the payment plan, the 90-day thing too. That's cool. That's good.
Love the payment plan.
Very good.
That's how you hook me. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we've got this right here. This is how much it costs. Or we'll give it to you. You can make just payments every. Yeah. You want to lock me into something? Say 90 days, same as cash. It's sold. I don't even know what it is anymore. I'm locked. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man. That okay. So we talked about the clinic. And like I said, we're definitely going to drop their website in the description, and we will make sure that you got every opportunity to look out for them and reach out to them, get to be a part of that plan, and if not, at least consider them for one of your next clinics if you need a clinic. We hope everybody stays healthy. But in case you do not, please reach out to them and let them help you out. Definitely got a heart for it, and I think that's very important when choosing where to go to get some health stuff done. Is having that comfortable place where you feel like you're not when you can walk in and not feel like an insurance claim and not feel like just another patient or just another person to walk in the door. Getting that kind of personalized heartfelt experience. And just from the time we've been talking today, I can definitely tell that you are that type of person. We talked about, getting into the medical field and everything. And I don't think, um, I can tell that you have the heart for it and the heart to help people out. And I think that's probably the most important thing is having that because that kind of entices, that's very important when you're in a vulnerable kind of pain or hurt or scared, because of what's going on. Being able to go somewhere that is going to have that consideration and take that,
Thank you.
when they're dealing with you. And I appreciate everything that you do.
One last thing I want to say
Please do.
is that, so many of our patients who don't know that we do primary care come to us because they have minor emergencies. They're sick.
Mhm.
And after they come and they have a good experience and they discover, oh, you do primary care, then they establish with us. So we have acquired so much of our our primary care population just because people have come in for other things and found out about us and had a great experience and decided to stay on board with us. So, and we do, I would say probably now about half of our visits every day are primary care patients
Mm.
and the other half urgent care. But out of that urgent care population, I'd say roughly about 10 to 20% of those people are new visits every day. I mean, that's all the population. We're having about 20% new visits every day.
That's very good.
That's incredible. So getting that name out, and getting that exposure to all kind of new patients, and then you get the word of mouth after that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. We appreciate it. We wish you all the success and to continue to grow in those avenues. 'Cause like I said, I don't think enough people are doing them, and we're very grateful that you are. Um,
I don't have anything else. Just thank Dr. Souza for coming on and
yeah,
sharing the
absolutely.
word
Thank
with
you
what they're
again,
doing there.
Thank you.
Brian.
I just want to ask, can I come to your studio and jam one day?
Absolutely.
My man.
We have unidirectional mics there.
We're working up to that,
Yeah,
dog.
we're trying to move out the Omni. You know what I mean?
We're working up.
We're getting there. We're gonna. And speaking of that, we've got advertising opportunities for sale. Reach out to us. Make sure you can let us help you get your name out there. Help us help you. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to us at coffeeandcatchuppc@gmail.com. If you're one of our faithful listeners, it's just like Brian said I was going to have this T-shirt by this day,
They're ordered.
and that was 2 years ago.
They're ordered. I sent it off Friday.
I love that. I love that.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know.
You got to think,
We'll
we
see.
talk it up for about 3 or 4 weeks to make
No,
sure
no, 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 no,
everybody
no,
gets
no,
their
no.
orders
We
in.
talk it up for 3 or 4 months.
Well,
Fair. That's fair.
I sent him
They're
the sizes, and we know all who we have to deliver them to and get payments from whenever they come in.
They're
And
ordered.
we coming to get them payments. Um,
They're ordered.
They're ordered. Hopefully, we'll get them in our hands next week. We'll see. Remember when I always said that last time and it never happened. But anyways, if you're curious about your order, want to know what you can reach out to us at coffeeandcatchuppc@gmail.com. Thank you as always to our sponsors. Number one sponsor, Buckeye Preferred Services, the number one advertised tree service from Coffee and Ketchup in the Middle Georgia area. They're not going to do you wrong. They are the ones to go with. Like I said, I hope everybody got through the freeze without trees falling and stuff like that. But if you did, you got a weird tree in your yard, got a track in your yard that may or may not be a deer. Maybe it used to be a tree. I don't know. Call Buckeye Preferred Services. Their link's down in the description. Have them come out and give you an estimate and see if they can't help you out. As always, also Emerald City Sweets. We've got the wonderful candies out here that are dangerous. You have too many of them, might have to go see Dr. Susan. You chuck on too many of them, you might have diabetes like me. So just a head of warning, but they are fantastic. They've got new flavors. Milk Duds are the number one. Go get you some. You're not going to be sorry.
There's a new number one. The Werther's
Vanilla?
Vanilla.
Milk Duds is still better. You need that chocolate. The chocolate with the caramel. I don't know.
I'm a vanilla guy.
Listen, you're pretty vanilla.
Vanilla ice. Come on.
Oh, God, don't. Please
Go ahead and
don't.
wrap it up.
Yeah,
Wrap
let's
it
just
up. Little plug.
again, thank you to
I
Bassett
like
Home
this title.
Improvement. Looks fantastic. We're excited for the new additions we're making to the studio. Hopefully, we can get a better camera here soon to do a wide angle lens and really encapsulate the full view of the $1 million studio. We want to get the best experience we can out to y'all. Thanks again for always choosing in to listen. If you haven't already, please like the video, comment down below anything that you'd like to, any suggestions who you'd like to see on next. And anything you'd like to share with us about maybe an experience with Dr. Susie you've had, we would sure like to hear from you. And if you haven't already, like that video and subscribe. But I think that's going to do it for us here.
Pray that I'll be $10,000 richer by the next time we shoot.
Oh, that's right. Brian's got a shot coming up Friday at the Hawks game. He's going to get to take it. I'm not going to get to be there because my mom's going to be here. But we're going to pray for him. And either way, either he gets 10 grand or me and him are going to Harris Casino, Harris Cherokee Casino or whatever. I don't know. A little night for me and him. How cute.
He's kidding, Shelly.
Not really. Thank you all for your very, very continued support and everything you continue to do for us. And we will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.